Hello lovely people, welcome into my channel. My name is Jer. Let's talk Canada's Drag Race Season 4. Let me get my notes out, because mama got notes. I heard that this season was gonna change everything, and that this could be potentially something that will drive the entire global franchise in a different direction. And if that's the case, I wanted to tune in, so I got myself WoW Presents Plus in a bout of mania, and that's fine, because here we are, and we get to review this. So, I'm gonna cover this every single week. I'm also covering the Boulet Brothers Dragula Season 5, so if you're interested in drag content, check that out as well. But let's jump right into this. So first off, the structure of the season was slightly different. While the queens walked into the workroom, or I guess while the contestants walked into the workroom, they also then left. I don't know what that was for. I'm still confused on why they made them leave and then come back to all be reunited together. That didn't make any sense. However, I am loving this trend. In UK, they did this, where the judges were watching their entrance looks and judging them, and then they had to do a performance challenge in the first day. That's exactly what they made them do here in Canada. And they were watching their entrance looks. For me and many other fans, the entrances is really what helps us drive how we think a contestant is going to do through the course of the show. We look at those looks and we want to know who they are. Can we root for them? Can we love them right off the bat? Or is something just a little bit off and we already know they're going to be an early out? I think it's smart that the judges look at that and look, are you in the game from the get-go? Are you going to give us everything the moment you walk in? No holds barred. You know what I mean? So I really like this trend of the judges watching the contestants coming in. Of the entrances, I'm already loving Denim so much, and I'm glad that the judges are too. I was worried that a really avant-garde performer was not going to fare well up there, but I'm so glad that they are. Denim is incredible, and I love their aesthetic and drag. I love their approach to it. I love that they're just this cute little dude. They're cool. I like Denim. I'm really, really interested in what they're going to bring the rest of the season. I loved Kikiko. Totally understood everything. Loved the outfit. Loved their presentation. Luna is so visually interesting. I'm not surprised that their personality is a little wet. On some level, I almost don't care. They're kind of giving like a Violet Pearl type of a situation where it's like, you're just so visually interesting. I don't really care that there's not a ton of personality that's behind all of it, just that it's sort of muted and soft. I don't know if I can say the C word on YouTube, but that's what she's serving. I also love Kitten Caboodle. I really love that this is a seasoned performer. They definitely give seasoned vibes, and they remind me a lot of, I don't have a drag mother, but I have someone who kind of like adopted me temporarily for a little while I was still doing drag. Kitten reminds me a lot of her. Someone who just is doing old school drag. And I love that. I love to see it represented because I feel like a lot of performers come in and they're like, I'm representing the old school. And they certainly are not. And I know that Nira did not do well. Oh, but at all. The entrance look falling apart, that panic look in the eyes, and then the ripping of the other tail, and then the performance where the back was missing and it looked like grandma panties. I'm obsessed with her. I love Miss Nira enough, and I'm rooting for her. I'm rooting for her so hard. Aurora. My God, is Aurora gorgeous. Loving the look. Amy Yonsei is my top 4 pick right now just because she's so polished and perfect. Everything looks correct and she's so interesting outside of drag too. This whole cast, I'm just like very jazzed about. This is a cool cast and I hope that it doesn't fall apart like how UK did. Because UK season 5 kind of fell apart. It was doing so good and then it got meh and then it got bad and I'm not happy about that. Going back to my initial review of the premiere, I think Girlfriend Experience is really fun. She's really funny. I can't stand the outfits because there's not really a lot going on. I just want more excitement from the drag, but I like her. So I feel really like conflicted about her as a competitor because I think I would turn up to her in the club. So they do a performance challenge where they get to use the entire room. There's a pole, there's a chair, They can sort of do whatever they want. I feel like everyone kind of gave themselves. I was turning up for Nira only because it was so messy. I really loved Cece's performance because it was so bizarre. It was really bizarre. And then each of the judges, all three of them, gave out a rosebud to each one of the contenders, whoever they thought was their favorite of the entire day. I still don't understand what the point of the rosebuds were. If this is gonna come in later and it'll be a plot device, like, remember how you have that rosebud? That'll save you from the bottom if you wanna use it. Or if it was just like a thing that they did that they never followed through with, I still don't quite understand what that was for. I like the idea of the judges picking someone for the winner of the mini challenge. So Denim, Amy, and Venus are the ones who win those rosebuds. I agreed. I thought that all of them were great. I understood why some of the other queens were upset why Venus won the rosebud, because the outfit was just like not super incredible, but that flapper look and that performance. The thing is, I think you can wear very little if you sell it and if you really overperform. And I feel like that's what Venus did. And I think the idea of not tucking and making that a very prominent point of your drag, saying, I don't tuck. There are plenty of people who got penises. And why do we have to hide that? I don't want to. I think that's cool. I think that's really cool and I'm here for it. And just Amy again is perfection. Denim is giving this really super avant-garde thing that I'm loving. I totally agreed. I just don't understand the point of the rosebuds. Like, is that gonna come in handy later or is that just nothing? So they said this episode was a ball, but they only did one outfit on the runway. And I'm assuming they were just counting the entrance and the performance as the ball, but I was really hoping we'd get like 2 looks just to really kick it over the edge. And the category was your best drag, me, myself, and I. This is a great opportunity to really double down on your aesthetic. Give us a more elevated look of what you didn't wear walking into the workroom, because your entrance look should define you. And your best drag should be the exclamation point at the end of it. Should just be one clear thought all the way through. There were some who did really well, in my opinion, and there were some who did excellently. I loved Aurora's dragon bodysuit. That was chef's kiss. Luna's Terry Mugler suit was so hot, and I loved their walk. It was giving executive realness in a way that I don't know if many contestants in the past have ever done executive realness to that level, that C-word level that I don't think I can say on this website. Denim's little utter cow thing was so funny. Again, I'm loving the avant-garde. I'm loving this really artistic approach to drag. I feel like in the recent years, Utica was the only one who kind of got close to doing that super artsy avant-garde thing. And I love that Denim is taking it to the next level. I'm really obsessed. Kitten Caboodle's mermaid dress was like very club. It was a low look for me, but I also loved it because it looked like something that I would see all of the seasoned queens at the nightclub wearing. And I love that we're actually seeing like nightclub drag, not nightclub drag that's been elevated for a drag race. Kiki's pearl bodysuit with that crown. Big nut. It was so good. Jesus. This is a queen who knows what she's doing, and I am so excited. Nira's asymmetrical look was probably one of my favorites on the runway, I'm not gonna lie. It was this cool punk black and white with all of this graphic graffiti all over it. So strong of a look and so different from everything else that we've seen so far. As a exclamation point punctuation to the full idea of who this performer is, I don't really get a sense of who they are, but I like it. I just think the references are kind of all over the place, and I want them to hone in on something and really do that super well, because I think this could be their aesthetic. Melinda's gold dress was so simple. As soon as I saw it, I thought that's definitely a bottom look. It just wasn't elevated to a good place, but I love that she made it herself. It wasn't pizzazzy. It was a club look, but sort of the club look that you wear after you've done 2 numbers and you're just sort of walking around the bar afterwards to get a drink and mingling with people who are like, oh my God, you were so good. Yes, queen. It was one of those types of dresses. Venus's red bodysuit with the feathers was really pretty. I feel like it was different enough from things we've seen already with those types of feathers, that type of silhouette. And again, I think I just really like Venus's approach to drag. And I think with everything contextually, I understand why she was in the top. And I'm not mad. Then we have Cece's biker look. And the first thing that I noticed was that she wasn't wearing panties because she kicked her leg up. And if you're gonna not wear panties, don't kick your legs up. Something about it takes me out of the fantasy. Like, if you're gonna serve glamour, put some panties on. In the words of Jasmine Masters, panties, bitch. Amy's blue-orange catsuit was so slept on. That was one of the most high fashion things on that runway, and I wish that she had gotten some critiques, because God, that was good. And then we have the girlfriend experience with the nude tulle look. I do think it was a punctuation on who she is. She gives nudity, she gives sexuality, that's like her drag. I thought the look was cute, a little ice skatery. Again, just to really like bring home what I've already said, I just don't think it's very like exciting. I think I've seen things like this before. And I want nudity and sexuality elevated to a different place. I don't know how you do that because I don't do that in drag, but that's what I want to see. I want to see it elevated. So the tops were Venus, Kiki, and Denim, and Kiki was safe, and Denim and Venus got to lip sync for the win because we're continuing this trend of nobody goes home on the first episode. And I'm wondering if this is like a wow thing, because this happened in UK and this is happening here. Was this conversation of more than ever the world needs drag? I love the motto for this year, that we're not doing elims on episode 1 because the world needs drag badly right now. We need queer messaging, we need queer positivity. I did like that a lot. And personally, I like when nobody goes home. I know people don't turn up to that, but I like when people don't go home. I like getting to see people's art, or if they're gonna go home, do an All Stars 8 situation where we get to see their looks after the show. Cece, Nira, and Melinda were all in the bottom, which I totally understood. I agreed with those bottom placements. But again, nobody went home. So in the beginning of the episode, Brooke said that everything was gonna be different this season. I still don't know what that means. There are rumors about what's gonna happen, but I'm still not quite sure. And in the trailer for next week, she said something about the winner will receive a golden beaver. She did! Are we talking about beavers or... Ew! I'm so confused. Is this like the plunger from All Stars 7? Where you give it to someone and then they can't win? Or are the rumors true that you give it to someone in the bottom and they're safe, and then the other two in the bottom will have to lip sync? Big exciting things happening, but I loved this episode. This was a really fantastic start. This cast is incredible, and if you are not watching this season, you absolutely must. And before we wrap, we gotta talk about the way that Brooke served 8, devoured, left 0 crumbs on that stage, because that look was probably one of my favorite things I've ever seen her in. Brooke is going to serve this season, and I'm ready to see it. But let me know what you thought in the comments below. Who you rooting for? Who's your top 4? Right now, I think it's Kitten, Amy, Denim, and I feel like Venus is probably gonna be up there, but I am totally okay with Aurora being up there too. That's who I want. That's my ideal end game. Who's yours? Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to click that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Goodbye.